Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good time of day, whatever it may be for you. Welcome back to the LAMDA log. It is warm. Getting behind as always. And so today, this is 25th of May, Memorial Day. It's like, it's so hot right now. What is it? It's 33. So it's like 96 degrees. It's hot. I wonder what the actual transfer is. I'm going to check right now. I was going to go quick because I need to leave quickly. It's 91 officially. But yikes, man, I'm sweating bullets. I got a fan. It's helping me out, but it's not doing enough. And I'm about to walk to my friend's place an hour away, but we're good. Jumping right into it. Week 3, day 3. We didn't have any warm up. We jumped right into auditions with Ollie, and this time we were with Simone Coxell as our guest, who is somebody who's helping to run the acting department here at LAMDA. She was one of the directors of the first projects when we had Gemma. And yeah, I felt good about it. I went about 6th or so. Yeah, and it was private lives, and I did quite a heightened RP dialect for a specific time period. This is not very good, but it was more or less like this. And then I practiced a good bunch of times with a bunch of people before. I looked at my thesis. I dressed up for it. I put on a little blazer and some trousers and some like nice shoes. And I did it once. I felt decent, not incredible. Then I got a redirection to play off the love and have a definite shift. And I felt good about it again. And then she dismissed me. She's like, okay, that's all we have time for. She's Australian, though my Australian accent stinks. And then Ollie was like, we have 3 more minutes if you want to do anything else with him. And she was like, oh, yeah, we'll do this other part again. And she kind of focused on those 3 shifts even more. And so I was like, oh, shoot. I probably didn't do what she actually wanted. But we managed, and we pushed through. And so yeah, and then I read, and I felt great about my reading. I read for the student, and I played the Amanda, the female character. And I was like, I'm having so much fun. I was like, this is the energy I need to bring into my auditions. But spoiler alert, on Friday, I found out that I was on the commendation list, or whatever it's called. Let me double check. I keep calling it the consideration list, and that's not right. The special commendations list. Zion. I did it. So I had a full moment. It went from worrying about auditionings, not doing great on my first one, talking to Ollie, working hard on it, going the extra mile, coming in, getting commendations. I loved it. Then we had 18th Century Dance with Matthew and James, and we learned, oh no, did I write? Gavotte? Yes, the Gavotte arm exercise, which is, I do not have a ton of time. I have like 15 minutes to record this video, but that's okay. So you bring them up and then out and then out and then here. And it's a little looser than like ballet where you're up here. And you kind of don't want to be above your pockets is what he said. And so, I mean, my bed's in the way, but yeah. So you bring up, let me see, I wrote it. So yeah, you go up and then this, and then you bring it down and in and then down. Oh yeah, you do this at the end, this little flop. So let me see, go here and then here and then here. That's it. This is it. Bum, 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 right? And then we did this little dancey exercise where you took a step on each one and you're like, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it was all in 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you go over your left hip. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you did something else. But that was the gist of it. Very fun. It wasn't a dance necessarily. It was just an exercise to like get the form right in the dance. We warmed up by walking the space before we did this. And we explored with releasing the leg from the hip, so that like we were only holding our leg up. Yeah, I'm going to do this whole thing here. Move my fan. So you hold your leg up, and then your below the knee is loose, and then you let it go. And the idea is that you're only lifting your leg, and the rest of this is all loose. And then we used a bar to drop the leg several times. Oh, we did a warm up by doing our heel, ball, toe. So like, I don't, doing that with your feet, heel, ball, toe, and then also doing that with weight. So you lean into it, heel, ball, toe, heel, and you're using the muscularity of your foot. And then we explored direct space by using direct lines and everything, and then indirect space. But we are really focused on our body instead of the space. And so we tried that again, just focusing on the space itself. And that was 18th century dance. And then we had voice to text with Jeremy. And this is probably my longest little section I wrote about. Also, could have turned on this fan. Hopefully it's not too loud, but I'm sweating. So, that's so much better. There's no AC in most houses and flats in the UK. Fun fact. So we first discussed like what we've learned or focused on or faced as challenging with the voice as we've gone about the past week. And people talked about accents and resonance. And then we went on about like how do you warm up when you have minimal time and you're not allowed to be loud. So we talked about quiet, clear glides. Talked about doing things in the shower, a muted or a mumbled hand over the mouth. You just do your lines like that. That helps in your warm-ups. And then voiced fricative, so right? Yoga and stretching. The unvoiced fricative, those kinds. And the quiet, clear. And then we talked about a silent, a siren, a quiet siren, which is just doing it without making any noise. So actually like moving your larynx and everything. And then we talked about a myron, which is a mouth siren, which is mouthing the lines while sirening. So. So you kind of do that. And then with vocal extremes, if you have to be intelligent, with vocal extremes, if you have to do them at all, be intelligent, don't push or strain, and just do it sparingly. That's like if you're yelling or growling or something. And then we did a guided body awareness and breath connected to the body scan. I fell asleep because that's what I do when I lay down and it's just relaxing. It led many to feel open and grounded, present. We brought awareness from the head to toe, and then we proceeded up from the feet, right? So we were laying down, and then we did semi-supine, and then we went into like fetal position, and then we went into tabletop, and then downward dog, and then a forward lean, and then up into standing. Great. And then we practiced placing sounds in the belly and kind of finding the resonance of bringing it low. And it's not that it really resonates down there, but it feels like it's coming from down here. And then how does that sound? And then in the chest, and how does that sound? And then in the solar plexus, which is in the middle of both of those, and you feel like you're engaging the full body, and that's kind of like the goal. And then first just a sound. Oh, first just the sound and then a note, and then with the piano, and then changing pitch. Um, the belly, we did an oh. The chest, we did an oh. And the solar plexus, we did an ooh, trying to engage both. And then discussed and broke it down. It's not really necessarily a buzz or a feeling of actual vibration coming from that spot, which is what I was struggling with. It's more the mental focus and placement. And then the resonant pitch and whispered pitch, different vowels mouthing through pitch, like ooh, 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 ooh is the lowest, and then he is the highest. Like you can hear it when you're when you're not like putting sound. There's a sound to it, and it's almost always the same pitch, which is wild, witchcrafty things. Not really, but it felt like that. And then each vowel has their own resonant frequency and pitch, and they will match because it's just the natural sound. And then take out the effort, relax into it, and the extra like effort, especially. And then we had lunch. And then we had combat, which I'm going to attach a video to the end what we did. We actually finished it, and I don't have the very end of what we did, but it's just a little thing, and it just goes for my butt, and then I slice. I'm with my partner. I think I'm going to stay with the whole time. Yeah, and since I'm adding her to the video, it's Sarah, and she's wonderful, and I'm very much enjoying working with her. But we did a warm up, and then we learned the rest of the choreo, and I filmed it, and it's great. Yeah. Then we had audition part 2, and I didn't have mine because I had already done it, so I worked on my thesis a little bit, and then I worked with a couple of other people on my French scenes. And then we had acting through song, and this was the last class of the day, and I am cruising through this video. This is good. This is good because I gotta leave in 9 minutes. Which I feel like somebody would be like, "Hey, look how quickly you could actually do it. Stop wasting all our time." This is first and foremost for myself, but I hope you enjoy it. If you are not myself listening to this, also the beard's coming in a little bit, and I think I'm gonna shave and just leave the mustache, or maybe a goatee. I haven't decided yet, but I'm definitely getting rid of like the cheeks. Yeah, I'll probably just leave the mustache. But alas, so the first person saying Only in New York from Third Leaf, Modern Millie. Focus on the storytelling and don't worry about the notes as much. You need the biggest intensity for this song, and played with changing the key to see what worked better for their voice. And then the next guy did A Bronx Tale, one of the great ones. And he did this like, he's a mafia guy, and he was like, this one could be one of the great ones. This one could be one of the guys. And I was just like, really like, yeah, I'm a Puff Pony type. What do you mean? And it was great. And I was like, why can't I do that as Simawa? But maybe it's not the character so much as like the kind of thing. I don't know. But they redirected him and put him at a table in a kitchen talking to this kid, and then sustained the thought through the movements. Bigged up the character, big, bold, and confident. The more the character is embodied, the better the voice sound. And then the next person did a song called "I'm Your Man" from Meet John Doe, which was hilarious. Pushed for fuller intention. Had her monologue. They had her monologue it for someone else first, and then sang it to him while he was up on a block and was like trying to reach to him. And then the last person went and sang "My Days" from the Notebook, and this was like the best I'd seen her do it. She like had some really good storytelling, and it was just joyful, and I really was connecting to it. And then needs to work on the full voice and the mix a little bit, kind of bridging that. That's what she's working on next. And then during our training, we're working on so many things, and even our strengths can become bad if they're like overindulged. Like maybe I'm good at character, but if I'm like a goofy character, then I'm losing things. And that was it just on Monday. Hopefully I can get Thursday and Friday done tonight. I have dinner with a friend, but that's a gist. That's what's going on with your homeboy. It's hot in London, and I'm memorizing everything. I also worked on these little. Oop, one blew away. these calendars to show what I need to do when I need to do it. Also, um, I finished my second rough. Well, this is for Monday. Jumping ahead a little bit, but I finished my second draft of my thesis, and I think it's the one I'm going to work with. I'm stoked about it. Anyway, love you guys lots. Bye. Looking good.